The never ending conversation. Let me quickly talk about that with a lot of ladies. And you experience this when you travel overseas, but it happens in the Western countries as well. Um, this never ending conversation phenomenon is more pronounced these days because of social media and of dating apps. So, what happens is that um, it's the ideal of optionality, endless optionality, like a buffet situation. So what occurs is that we know that men don't do well on dating apps, and we know that if a woman approaches 100 men and says, "Would you like to sleep with me?" she will have a hard time. Um, Many men would accept the offer because it's not a regular occurrence. Okay, so she's gonna find herself being done by lots of guys because the offer she's making to the men is not a common offer. So most men would agree to sleep with a woman. We even had that situation where a lady slept with 101 men in 14 hours. So now, what was the number two thinking when he slept with her, had sex with her? What was the number 50 thinking? With number 70, you can see that there's a lot of men who don't have access like that, that were just glad to get some, so to speak. Okay, so now the endless conversation phenomenon that I'm talking about is that when we are on dating apps, if you somehow, or if a woman catches your eye, okay, or if she's somehow interested in you, or just online, period, what's occurring, and this is what's creating a lot of men to pull away from the dating and online, is that let's say you start talking and you got a good game, you look good, and this is another part that's really important. You can actually be very good looking. You can actually be very good with your words and everything else. But this thing that the dating apps and the other apps online presence creates this optionality for women is where this is where it gets really really bad. So she's on a conversation with you for first day. Y'all texting, y'all chatting. The next day, texting and chatting. So now, let's say you need to go to work because you're a productive male. Okay, you're a man. You're about your business. You need to go to work, and she really wants to talk, and she's got maybe 5 hours in front of her free, and you can't be online to talk to her. So what you do, you say, babe, I'm going to get on there and go do my work. She yearns to talk to you. So this is no, it's not like those old movies where she's just longingly sitting by the window waiting for you. No, as soon as you're about to say goodbye, she's already texting another man saying, "Hey, are you awake? What's going on? What's up?" So she don't want to be in a state of void of you, in a state of want, in a state of longing. So even though she's feeling you, she is liking you, yes, you're feeling the vibes and everything else, but she don't want to feel the law of not having you there. And she doesn't have to because there's another guy who's up and ready to talk to her. And then she talks to him for an hour. Yes, it could be just a distraction. Maybe she's more into you than she is more into him, but nonetheless is available for that conversation. And so you're not being missed. You are not being missed. So then you're at work and everything else, and then that guy no longer is not available now. He says, I gotta go, I gotta go. She's got 5 hours. So she reaches out to the next person. I'm not being dramatic. I speak to a lot of people. I speak on reality. I observe that which is going on. This girl, especially on the continent, in Africa, where some ladies they've graduated, they got free time, they don't want to have downtime to not have anybody to talk to. So she could talk the whole day to maybe five different guys. Of those five guys, maybe she likes two. But the point is, you're not going to be missed. You're not going to be yearned for. By the time you say, hey, how you doing? She can be slightly nonchalant because she's being filled. Her cup is being filled. So ladies have this access of this endless conversation because it's endless males. Kind of like the example I gave about the lady that had sex with 101 males who are willing to line up there and says, "Yep, I'll be number two. Yep, I'll be number 10. Yep, I'll be number 50. I'll be number 99." So women can have this endless conversation. Therefore, they don't have any downtime to recover from or to feel the loss of or to feel like, hey, what's going on around me? Do I really like this person? So now when she's talking to the guy number two, she's not chewing and pondering onto the words that you and her shared. Kind of like when you read. I read the scriptures, right? You read and then you ponder. You go for a walk. No technology, no phone. You ponder what you read, okay? Or if you had a business meeting, you go forth and ponder the offer because the opportunity is so big that you can't just pass it over. So you need time to just reflect upon it and chew up on it. You know, that time is necessary for anybody. But because women are not experiencing this, they're treating people like it's literally fast food relationships. So what does occur, and I've seen a pattern, and it happened to me. What does occur is that let's say she's got seven guys that she's talking to, and seven is modest. It's modest because online has opened up the world. There could be a guy in Pakistan, a guy in Saudi Arabia, a guy in the UK. The world is opened up to women. Okay, dating apps and everything else. So she's never bored, and she's never without capacity to pay for her phone and her data. She's always online. So when that happens, is she is not taking the time to exclusively deal with one person and reflect upon that person's behavior and mannerisms, who's got good intentions. She's just filling in a void. Like when you're hungry, you just eat. You've not reflected. Should I eat healthy? Should I eat that food? No, you're just eating as a response. And then you start to trigger the hunger alert, and you're just eating almost endlessly. And then you get to the end of the day, you're like, you know what? What I really, really like to eat was that food over there. So that's why women will spin the block and come to you after they've been going for 6 months. Because maybe she's been having endless conversations for almost 6 months. It's easy to do. You talk to this one drops off, makes her upset. Instead of her reflecting, what did I do in that situation? No, she's on to the next. He gives up the dopamine hit. She's up on the high, talking to him. Things fall off. She's on to the next. She's talking. There's no time to do one on one. One on one is temporary while she's talking to you. Even sometimes while she's talking to you, she's messaging another guy. And when you're gone working that 12-hour shift, she's not missing you like that. She's not missing you because she's talking to somebody else. Maybe slightly, maybe 2% missing, not 100% missing. So because she's now talking to another person, and then when he's gone, she's talking to another person, and she keeps going because she has something to offer aesthetically. She keeps going and going, and then when she sees, hey, he was a really cool guy, and this could be a month later, and then all of a sudden you get a message, hey, how you doing? It's been a while. I missed you, and you buy into that, and then she goes on again on the same thing. So it's a very toxic approach to this endless conversation. This endless conversation is become normative. It's more common for women than men. There are men who are like this, let's use the terms Chads and Tyrones, who have these things. Because I have friends who I know they have that going on. They don't value women because there's always someone to talk to, someone to chat with. If it's not this one, it's her. So now the number of men that can do that are very few. And then the number of men that have that opportunity to talk, most men are busy. Okay? So that's a few. But the majority, even an average girl, even a big girl, you've seen girls on TikTok saying, I get, men and whatever it is. And you look at her, I'm like, how? How? Ma'am, you are not exactly the number one draft pick, But women, because of the desperation of men, she don't have to. She could literally be a 3 or a 2, and she still gets access to guys who make her feel some type of importance. So this endless competition is more common for it happens with men, but that small number of men, they're the ones who can do that. And it does happen with women on a more regular basis because a lot of women don't want to get bored and they don't want to get their hearts broken. And then the advice that they're getting from uh, online presence, online identities such as Share 7, date them all, find out who's good for you, and that kind of mindset. So no one's dealing with each other exclusively in that sense. Because for as long as there's options, why should I talk to you on only you when he wants to talk to me and he wants to talk to me and I could talk to him? It's only when there's optionalities or the idea of it drops off, it rescinds so almost to nothing. Then they'll start to calculate, oh, he was a good person, and then you get those offers now. It's almost like you went to an auction, you bid on the house, your offer was rejected because there's so many more bidders on the property, and then all of a sudden, months later, you start to get the agent starts to reach out to you. Excuse me, are you still interested in the property? And that's what a lot of women are doing. A lot of women don't want to cash in what they have. It's too precious. So I want to maximize it, go as far as I can with it. And then when I see that the optionalities have dropped off, I'm not getting anywhere, then I'll pick the best of what I had going on because I saw that there was good in the batch. It's just that at the time, I didn't have the energy or the time to deal with the fact that I had to to deal with settling and settle because settling is not a bad thing. It's like looking for a job. You got five company offers, you settle for one. So I didn't want to do that because I want to see how far we can go with it. So as men, y'all should look out for the fact that some women are just coming back because you were a good person, but they were literally just keeping you within that endless conversation. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, you gotta value yourself beyond just being in a conversation state. All right, I've said enough. Peace, love, and blessings.